Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, in its first 10 years, the Global Compact has become the world's largest and the most ambitious initiative of its kind. Corporate sustainability is becoming a byword in companies across the world. At first, the Compact was driven solely by morality. We asked the business to do the right things. Morality is still a driving force. But today, the business community is coming to understand that principles and profits are two sides of the same coin. This realization could not be happening at a better time. Ours is an era of tectonic shifts in the global order. Wealth and economic power are shifting to emerging economies. Major economies continue to cope with the greatest economic and financial crisis in most of our lifetimes. Business itself, in the aftermath of scandals and mismanagement, faces the need to build and renew a trust. The Global Compact can be just the beacon we need to carry us forward to sustainable growth, to markets that bring profits and social advancement at the same time. I see 4 priorities ahead of us. First is leadership. Leadership of each and every one of leaders present this morning. You are at the forefront of globalization. You can and must play a central role in sustaining the openness on which development and prosperity depend. That means emphasizing sustainability across your operations and in your investment strategies. It means inspiring others into a race to the top. And it means thinking differently about how and where we invest, thinking different way about creating markets of the future and creating opportunities for growth. At the G20 summit meeting this weekend, you are likely to hear the leaders of the world stress the need for austerity and budget consolidation at a time of crisis. I will argue exactly the opposite, that we cannot afford to invest in the developing world. We cannot afford not to invest. I'm sorry, this is quite opposite again. We cannot afford not to invest in the developing world. This is my message to the world leaders on Saturday. We will all know that where the greatest need is, that is also where some of the greatest dynamism is. Global economic growth requires investment in the developing world. With official development assistance, what is known as ODA, under pressure, foreign direct investment is that much more important. Second, we must heed the lessons of the financial crisis. Businesses must move away from their devotion to short-term profits, which distorts both accounting and daily operations. The private sector must go further in embracing long-term value creation. An ethical culture must be embedded into business practices. Distinctions between right and wrong cannot be ignored. Third, we need business to support the Millennium Development Goals. This is a blueprint that world leaders adopted for the harmonious prosperity and development of the world at the time of 2000 millennium, new millennium. in our efforts to eradicate abject poverty, create jobs and control disease, 10 years of experience has shown us what works and what doesn't work. Our challenge now is to again scale up our commitment. We have made that job easy for you at this summit. Through a rigorous process of vetting and analysis, we have identified 15 partnership opportunities, 15 ways to move us toward the Millennium Development Goals. They cover a wide range: hunger, disease, green energy, protecting girls from violence. They include our joint action for women's and children's health. But here is what they share. Each is ready to be scaled up now, and each has a powerful multiplier effect. Let us remember, investments in the developing world are investment in growth everywhere. That brings me naturally to the fourth priority: embrace and adopt new strategies and tools for this new era. The blueprint of corporate sustainability leadership being launched at this summit draws on a decade of experience and will be the cornerstone of our efforts. As we move ahead, it contains 50 ways for companies to distinguish themselves. My special representative on the issue of human rights and transnational cooperation, Professor John Ruggie, and other business enterprises continues his efforts. We also have developed new frameworks for anti-corruption and environmental stewardship, new principles to guide business on women's empowerment, social investment and children's rights, a sustainability guide for supply chains, and guidelines for responsible practices in conflict areas. These new resources, combined with the enduring power of the Compact's 10 principles, can help you attain higher levels of performance across the sustainability agenda. Excellencies, honorable leaders of the Compact, ladies and gentlemen, while I'm asking you to take the lead, you will not be alone. To governments of the world, I say, renew your commitment to transparency and smart regulation. I also urge the governments to build up their capacities to work with the private sector. To investors, I say, embrace the principles for responsible investment and integrate environmental, social, and corporate governance issues into financial decision-making. To the academic community, incorporate business ethics more fully into your core programs, in keeping with the principles for responsible management education. To civil society leaders, continue your vital watchdog functions, while also seeking more partnerships